not recording it. Okay, so we were, I think, in the last class, or rather, let me put it this way: last to last class, we were trying to, set up release procedure, and during that time, we have some internet connection disturbances, so we could not able to complete it properly. One second, Lakshmi is calling. Morning, Lakshmi. మీరు జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారండి? అంటే మీకు ఒక వేరే మెయిల్ పంపించానండి, శ్రీధర్ దగ్గర నుంచి వచ్చిన మెయిల్ మీకు ఫార్వర్డ్ చేశాను. దాంట్లో మీటింగ్ ఐడి ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ మీటింగ్ ఐడి యూ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ఇట్. లెట్ మీ గివ్ యూ ద మీటింగ్ ఐడి ఆల్సో. ఇట్ ఈస్ 67467. ఏదండి, మన రెగ్యులర్ కాదండి. నా మీటింగ్ ఐడి ఎక్స్పైర్ అయితే నేను శ్రీధర్ రిక్వెస్ట్ చేశాను. సో ఈ క్రియేటెడ్ ఎ మీటింగ్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆన్ బిహాఫ్ ఆఫ్ మీ. మెయిల్ చెక్ చేసుకోండి. The meeting ID would be 674-591-573. No, 674-591-573. Yeah, I'm just started in the mid ready. Right, thank you. Okay, so we were discussing about the release procedure, the way, what is release procedure, what are the things that you need to consider for setting up release procedure, on what basis the approvers will approve the document, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's move on to the slides. Okay, so by the way, can you all see my screen and you can hear my voice, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So the approval procedure, this is how it goes. You can set it up, the approval procedure, that is online approval process, which is what we call it as release procedure on the purchasing documents. You can even set it up on the invoice also, but of course that's a different procedure. So when you set up the release procedure or the online approval process on the documents, unless you complete that activity, you will not be able to carry out the next or the subsequent steps. For example, if you set up a release procedure on the purchase requisition, unless the approval is completed, you will not be able to convert the purchase requisition into purchase order. Similarly, if you set up a release procedure on the purchase order, unless you complete the release, or rather unless all the approvals of the document is approved, you will not be able to transmit the purchase order to the supplier. So the key here is who are all the people to approve and whether they have approved it or not. Only when the document is approved completely, it will be released for the next steps to be carried out on that particular document. Hi Lakshmi. Okay, so if you are not speaking or if you have no queries, can you guys please be on mute? I think I have a couple of beeps. I guess one is Sudhakar, the other one is Lakshmi. Okay.
Sir, what's happening?
Yeah, we were discussing the release procedure, Lakshmi. We just started. Okay, so how to set up release procedure?
Okay.
The
Yes.
key terms that we have to understand it. So let me just open the Excel file. Let me write it here. So these are the steps that you need to carry out. The first thing is, while you are setting up release procedure, you need to identify based on what parameters would you like to approve the document. Okay, so based on what parameters would you like to approve the document, so that's the first step that you are supposed to joining. Let me come out of this mail. Sign out. Come on, what is this? So let it be. Okay. Let me open this file also. SAP at the rate 10 a.m. So this is the one. So now I'll open two screens, one with SPRO, the other one is with the easy access, where I will be toggling here and there. Okay, so this is what we were discussing, release procedure, setting up of release procedure. So the first step that we are supposed to do is identify the parameters to be used to approve the document and define them as characteristics. So I guess at this point of time, okay, so that's where we were. So let me go into the configuration node, which is part of SAP MM. Hope I am recording. Yeah. When you are into purchasing, so here when you are into the purchasing documents, whether it is requisition or whether it is order, so let's say based upon where you wanted to set up release procedure, whether it is on purchase requisition or on purchase order, you have to go into that node, and then you see here there is something called release procedure for purchase order. Here I'll go with edit characteristics. So transaction code CT04, what we decided was, let's have a field or a column, let's have a characteristic with PO value. That's my characteristic. I'll just go with create. We did this last time, but on Sundar's system. So I'm going to create in my system now. You see here, there are certain characteristics which you can refer from the table field and then create. Such characteristics are called reference characteristics. So for release procedure, I'm going to use this kind of reference characteristics. If I have to refer characteristics, there was a table, or I would say a structure. Okay, so there was a structure which I'm going to use it. The structure name is CEKKO, to see or to display all the characteristics to be used for setting up of release procedure. We discussed the other day release procedure with classification, without classification. With classification, you can have n number of characteristics. Without classification, you are restricted to only 4 characteristics, that is purchase requisition value, what you call material group, account assignment category, and material group. So therefore, the scope is restricted. So and also the release procedure without classification is outdated. So let's go with release procedure with classification, because you are going to refer a characteristic available in this table. So this table is also called as communication structure. So communication structure for setting up of release procedures on purchasing documents is CEKKO, right? So here, what am I trying to do? I am trying to set up a characteristic based on purchase order value. So therefore, you have to identify a PO value field in this structure. If you look into this, okay, if you know the the technical names of the fields, you can go and